Ladies and gentlemen, performing America the Beautiful, please welcome the Armed Forces Chorus and Carrie Underwood.
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of Next, I will direct all members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices. That is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, can I have a pen?
The next item, sir, is a freeze on all federal hiring, excepting the military and a number of other excluded categories, again, until full control of the government is achieved and we understand the objectives of government going forward.
Could you imagine Biden doing this? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Trump signed sweeping executive orders, marking a dramatic shift in U.S. policy. In a bold and unprecedented move, President Donald Trump signed a series of executive orders today at the Capital One Arena, signaling a decisive shift in federal policies. President Trump's first action was to undo 78 executive orders from the Biden administration, while the specifics remain undisclosed. These orders are believed to touch on areas such as climate change, healthcare, labor rights, and immigration. The administration framed the move as a necessary step to reverse burdensome and overreaching policies, though critics warn of potential disruptions to ongoing programs. Trump also announced a freeze on new federal regulations, citing the need to remove unnecessary red tape and foster a pro-business environment. Supporters claim this will spur economic growth and innovation, but detractors fear it may delay critical initiatives in public health, safety, and environmental protection. The president reinstated a federal hiring freeze, halting the onboarding of new government employees. "We're cutting waste," Trump declared, emphasizing fiscal discipline. However, agencies already grappling with staffing shortages may struggle to maintain efficiency, with opponents calling the freeze a blunt instrument that undermines public service. Acknowledging widespread economic concerns, Trump signed a directive aimed at tackling inflation and reducing living costs. The administration has yet to outline specific measures, but potential approaches could include tax cuts, energy cost reductions, and incentives to increase domestic production. Economists remain divided on how quickly such policies could deliver tangible results. A key highlight of the day was Trump's decision to withdraw the United States from the Paris Climate Treaty. Calling it a job-killing agreement, Trump reaffirmed his administration's focus on energy independence. Environmental groups have condemned the move, warning of significant long-term consequences for global climate efforts and America's international standing. Trump signed a directive pledging to restore free speech and eliminate what he described as government censorship. While details remain scarce, the administration's focus appears to be on curbing perceived overreach in content moderation by tech companies and promoting transparency in government communications. Critics argue this could complicate efforts to combat misinformation and hate speech online. President Trump's actions have sparked intense debate, with supporters hailing them as a decisive step toward restoring American greatness and critics decrying them as divisive and short-sighted. Legal challenges are almost certain, and the practical implementation of these orders will likely dominate the political landscape in the coming months. The administration's sweeping agenda, described by Trump as ushering in a golden age of America, reflects a dramatic pivot in federal priorities. As the nation reacts, one thing is clear. The coming weeks will test the resilience of these policies and their ability to deliver on the president's bold promises.
What's your reaction to the news of this public inquiry tonight from the Home Secretary into the Southport murders?
24 hours after the triple murder, when online speculation was going absolutely crazy as to the identity of this individual and what his motivations might be, I posted a video in which I asked a question: was this man known to the authorities? Why are you not telling us the truth? And for that, I was vilified. From senior newspaper publications, broadcasters, politicians, just for asking for the truth. I was apparently somebody who was encouraging rioting. The opposite was the case. The British public can deal with the truth. It's when there's a vacuum that you get a difficult situation. Lord Carlisle, who actually wrote most of the terrorist legislation in our country, said, "Government, stop hiding behind this contempt of court case." When we saw the London Bridge attacks a few years ago, we knew within an hour that one of the people involved in it was known to the authorities. So what happened here was the Liverpool police covered up the truth. The Home Secretary covered up the truth. The Prime Minister covered up the truth. And we were told in the House of Commons we weren't even allowed to ask a question about this man's identity. Almost as if parliamentary privilege had been stripped away. Go on.
But just very briefly, weren't they trying to protect the legal process by doing that? They wanted to make sure they got to a point where they could then put all out for court to hear.
No. And this is the point that Lord Carlisle made. Knowing the truth about the identity of who has committed this is not the same as discussing the details of the accusations. Very, very different things. And in the past, we've always had this information. That vacuum led to those riots. And what happens? We get the Prime Minister, the Home Secretary, screaming at the far right, daring not to admit to the public that actually this is a terrorist, motivated, he's watching extreme jihadi videos, and we've been denied the truth. And now the truth comes out, and what happens? Now we're told we're going to have a public inquiry. So please don't say anything in case you prejudice the public inquiry. The Home Secretary, the Prime Minister, Liverpool police are trying to run away from this, and it's just not good enough. This is the most appalling cover-up I think I've ever seen.
The public inquiry into the Southport murders has ignited widespread outrage, particularly over accusations of government cover-ups and a lack of transparency. The inquiry, which seeks to unravel the truth behind the tragic events, has brought to light serious concerns about accountability and the potential suppression of critical information. As the investigation unfolds, many are questioning whether key details regarding the involvement of individuals with alleged terrorist links were deliberately withheld from the public and the press. The Southport murders, which have long been shrouded in mystery, are at the heart of the public's frustration. Authorities have faced mounting criticism for their handling of the case, with several reports suggesting that key individuals with known terrorist ties were involved in the killings. These allegations raise troubling questions about why such information was not shared with the public sooner, and whether the authorities were complicit in failing to act on intelligence that could have prevented further loss of life. The inquiry has sparked an outpouring of online speculation, with many claiming that the government has been less than forthcoming in its response. The lack of transparency has prompted a wave of backlash, particularly among those who believe that the truth has been deliberately concealed. Social media platforms have become a battleground for accusations against politicians and law enforcement agencies who are seen as either involved in or responsible for the cover. In particular, figures such as Nigel Farage have entered the fray, offering their perspectives on the unfolding scandal. While Farage has made his thoughts known in a recent television interview, political leaders like Keir Starmer and Yvette Cooper have also found themselves at the center of criticism. As speculation continues to mount, calls for greater transparency and accountability grow louder, with many questioning whether those in power will ever be held to account for their alleged inaction. The implications of the inquiry's findings are far-reaching, as the public's trust in the government continues to erode. If it is revealed that key details were intentionally concealed, it could have significant political consequences. With both politicians and law enforcement under the microscope, the fallout from this scandal is likely to ripple through the political landscape for months to come. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below, like this post, and hit subscribe to stay updated. Join the conversation on Telegram for exclusive updates and discussions. See you next time.